Hello, my weekend readers. Today I will be reading My Two Blankets by Irena Kobald and Freya Blackwood. Now make sure that you are tuning in to the very end of this video when I ask you a question and you can write down the answer to it in your agenda. Alright, so let's get to it. My Two Blankets. And it even says on the bottom, moving is hard. Friends, make it easier. Auntie used to call me Cartwheel. I think you can see why she called her Cartwheel. Then came the war. Auntie didn't call me Cartwheel anymore. We came to this country to be safe. Everything was strange. The people were strange. The food was strange. The animals and the plants were strange. Even the wind felt strange. Nobody spoke like I did. When I went out, it was like standing under a waterfall of strange sounds. The waterfall was cold. It made me feel alone. I felt like I wasn't me anymore. Connection sign if you have ever felt that way. When I was at home, I wrapped myself in a blanket of my own words and sounds. I called it my old blanket. My old blanket was warm. It was soft. It covered me all over. It made me feel safe. Sometimes I didn't want to go out. I wanted to stay under my old blanket forever. One day, a girl in the park smiled at me. Then she waved. I wanted to smile back, but I was scared. I kept walking with Auntie. When I looked back, the girl waved again. Can you spot her in the picture? Look very carefully. Next time we went to the park, I looked for the girl. She wasn't there. We went back 3 times before I saw her again. She waved and smiled, and I felt warm inside. The girl came up to us and said something. Her words were strange. It was like being back under that cold waterfall. Why do you think they keep saying that the words were strange? It's very interesting, something to think about. But the girl kept smiling. She took me to the swings. I got on and she pushed me higher and higher. I wanted to laugh. I wanted to tell her how glad I was that we were friends. Oh, how kind. But I didn't know how. When I went home, I hid under my old blanket. I wondered if I would always feel sad. I wondered if I would ever feel like me again. The next time I saw the girl, she brought some words for me. She made me say them over and over. Every time I met the girl, she brought more words. Some of the words were hard. Some of them were easy. Sometimes I sounded funny and we laughed. Sometimes I felt silly and I wanted to cry. At night, when I lay in bed under my old blanket, I whispered the new words again and again. Soon, they didn't sound so cold and sharp anymore. They started to sound warm and soft. I was weaving a new blanket. At first, my new blanket was thin and small, But every day I added new words to it. The blanket grew and grew. I forgot about the cold and lonely waterfall. Oh, yay! My new blanket grew just as warm and soft and comfortable as my old blanket. And now, no matter which blanket I use, I will always be me. There she is. You can see that she feels more like herself again because she's doing what? Cartwheel. What a lovely book. So this was My Two Blankets by Irena Kobald and Freya Blackwood. If you like this book, remember that you can check it out from a Prince William County Public Library. Alrighty, so thanks so much for tuning in, my weekend readers. Here is my question. Did you have any connection at all to this book? Maybe about how the character felt, or if you have experienced something similar to the main character? If you had a connection, write it down in your agenda and I will read it over next week. Thanks so much for tuning in, my weekend readers. Have a lovely weekend, and I will see you later.